The calm before the storm. The story opens in the year 2387, aboard the Terran command station Horizon's Edge, orbiting the outer rim of human space. Admiral Tom Blake stands before the massive viewing window, watching routine patrol ships drift past distant stars. The human fleet appears deceptively peaceful, sleek vessels, moving in lazy formations, their hulls gleaming with standard defensive plating. Lieutenant Kate Rivers approaches with a datapad, reporting the latest intelligence from their automated sensor networks. For months, they've been tracking unusual energy signatures from the void sector, but nothing concrete enough to warrant serious concern. The Terran fleet has enjoyed relative peace for decades, focusing on exploration and trade rather than warfare. Mike Stone, commander of the destroyer Iron Will, conducts a standard patrol near the edge of known space. His crew jokes about the boring assignment, longing for something more exciting than checking asteroid mining operations and escorting merchant convoys. They have no idea that their peaceful existence is about to shatter in the depths of space. Something massive begins to move. The first hints come as gravitational anomalies detected by deep space monitoring stations. Dr. Lisa Park, the fleet's chief scientist, notices the readings but attributes them to natural phenomena. Perhaps a wandering black hole or unstable wormhole the human colonies spread across. 47 systems continue their daily routines. Children attend school, farmers tend their crops, and engineers build new settlements on fresh worlds. The Terran fleet maintains its vigilant but relaxed watch, confident in their defensive capabilities. Their ships carry standard weapons, plasma cannons, particle beams, and nuclear missiles. Nothing excessive, just enough to handle pirates or subtle minor disputes. Admiral Blake reviews the quarterly reports. The fleet consists of 237 vessels of various classes: destroyers, cruisers, carriers, and the massive dreadnought Terra's Pride. Each ship represents the pinnacle of human engineering, but they're designed for protection and peacekeeping rather than total war. The humans have encountered other species before the peaceful Centauri traders, the isolationist Vega colonies, and the friendly Kepler researchers. All contacts have been diplomatic, leading to beneficial trade agreements and cultural exchanges. The galaxy seems like a place where reason and cooperation prevail. But in the outer darkness, massive ships emerge from the void. These vessels dwarf anything in the human fleet, their hulls pulsing with alien energy. The Galactic Empire has finally decided to expand into human space, viewing the seemingly weak Terran fleet as an easy conquest. Their intelligence suggests humans are soft, preferring negotiation over violence. Emperor Voss of the Drac sits upon his command throne, studying holographic displays of human settlements. His advisors assure him that the conquest will take mere weeks. The Drac fleet numbers over 3,000 vessels, each one a weapons platform designed for destruction. They've conquered 17 species in the past century, and humans appear no different from their previous victims. The Drac begin their approach, using stealth technology to mask their true numbers. They plan to strike simultaneously across multiple systems, overwhelming human defenses before resistance can organize. Their strategy has never failed before. On the human frontier, sensor operators begin detecting strange readings. The signatures are unlike anything in their databases, too large, too powerful, and moving with clear intent toward human space. Lieutenant Rivers brings the data to Admiral Blake, who studies the information with growing concern. Dr. Park runs additional scans, her instruments picking up energy patterns that suggest advanced weapon systems. The readings indicate vessels far larger than anything humans have built, approaching from multiple vectors. She realizes this isn't a natural phenomenon or friendly contact. Captain Stone's patrol encounters the first Drac scout ships, the Alien. Vessels are twice the size of his destroyer, their weapons already charging. He immediately transmits a warning to Terran Command, but the Drac move to block communications. A brief skirmish ensues, with Stone's ship barely escaping to carry news of the impending invasion. Admiral Blake receives the transmission and immediately calls for fleet mobilization. The peaceful days are over. He orders all ships to combat readiness and begins coordinating defensive positions. The Terran fleet may be outnumbered, but they won't surrender without a fight. As the part concludes, the Drac fleet emerges from the void in massive formations. Their ships blot out the stars, weapons bristling with destructive power. Emperor Voss opens a communication channel to the human fleet, demanding immediate surrender and offering slavery as the only alternative to extinction. The humans look at their small fleet, then at the massive alien armada. Admiral Blake's response is simple. He smiles, cuts the communication, and gives the order that will change everything. Gentlemen, it's time to show them what humanity can do. The war is about to begin. The Drac fleet moves into human space. Like a massive storm cloud, their ships arranged in perfect battle formations. Emperor Voss watches from his flagship Death's Crown, a vessel so large it could house entire cities. His commanders report that human ships are scattering, apparently fleeing in panic. The Emperor nods with satisfaction. Another easy conquest. Admiral Blake coordinates the retreat from his command center, but his calm demeanor puzzles his staff. While human ships pull back from the advancing Drac fleet, they move with purpose rather than panic. Each vessel follows precise coordinates, taking positions that seem random to outside observers, but follow a careful pattern. The Drac begin their assault on the outer colonies. Their weapons turn peaceful settlements into burning ruins within. Hours, the colonists evacuate in terror, their distress signals reaching Terran Command. Emperor Voss expects immediate surrender, but instead receives only silence from the human fleet. Captain Stone's destroyer Iron Will leads a small squadron in what appears to be a desperate hit-and-run attack. The Drac easily repel the assault, destroying 2 human cruisers and forcing the others to retreat. Stone's ship limps away, trailing plasma and debris. The Drac commanders laugh at the pathetic resistance, but something strange happens as the human ships withdraw. Dr. Park, monitoring from a hidden research station, notices that the destroyed vessel's wreckage contains unusual energy signatures. The debris seems to be transmitting data, creating a network of sensors throughout the battle zone. The Drac mistake this for random destruction, not realizing they're being carefully studied. Lieutenant Rivers analyzes the incoming data with growing excitement. Every Drac weapon discharge, every ship movement, every communication frequency is being recorded and analyzed. The human fleet's computers work overtime, building detailed profiles of enemy capabilities. What looks like defeat is actually intelligence gathering. The Drac push deeper into human space, their confidence growing with each easy victory. They capture mining stations, destroy orbital platforms, and force human ships to retreat at every encounter. Emperor Voss prepares his victory speech, certain that humanity will surrender within days. Admiral Blake finally breaks his silence, opening communications with the Drac fleet. Emperor Voss expects to hear terms of surrender, but instead faces a human who seems remarkably calm for someone whose fleet is being destroyed. Blake's words are simple. We've learned enough. Thank you for the demonstration. The Emperor demands an explanation, but Blake simply smiles and cuts the transmission. Across human space, something begins to change. The retreating ships suddenly stop their flight, taking new positions with military precision. Hidden bases come online, their energy signatures appearing on Drac sensors like stars being born. Captain Stone's damaged destroyer suddenly shows no signs of distress. Its hull repairs itself using advanced nanotechnology, and its weapon systems power up with energy readings that dwarf what the Drak have seen from human ships. The other, retreating vessels, undergo similar transformations that Dr. Park activates. Her research station's true purpose, what appeared to be a simple scientific outpost, reveals itself as a massive weapons platform, its surface bristling with technology that makes Drak weapons look primitive. Similar stations across human space shed their disguises, revealing the true scope of human military preparation. The Drak suddenly realize they've been fighting training exercises, not the real human fleet. The ships they've been destroying were outdated models used to test alien capabilities, while the actual Terran fleet remained hidden. The humans have been preparing for this moment for decades, building weapons and defenses in secret. Emperor Voss demands answers from his intelligence. Officers who scramble to explain how they could have been so wrong about human capabilities. The truth becomes clear. Humanity has been pretending to be weak, using deception as their greatest weapon. Every peaceful trade mission, every diplomatic contact, every seemingly innocent scientific expedition has been gathering intelligence on potential enemies. The real Terran fleet begins to emerge from hidden bases throughout human space. These ships are nothing like the vessels the Drak have been fighting. They're larger, faster, and armed with weapons that bend the laws of physics. Their hulls shimmer with energy fields that make them nearly invulnerable to conventional attack. Admiral Blake opens communications one final time, his voice carrying across all frequencies to every Drak ship. His message is brief but chilling. You wanted to see what humanity is capable of. We're about to show you why that was a mistake. The Drak fleet, which moments ago seemed invincible, suddenly finds itself outnumbered and outgunned. Their sensors detect human ships materializing from seemingly empty space, surrounding the alien armada in a perfect tactical formation. The hunters have become the hunted. Emperor Voss realizes with growing horror that he hasn't invaded human species, walked into a carefully prepared trap. The humans have been waiting for someone exactly like him, someone arrogant enough to attack first and ask questions later. The war he thought he was winning hasn't even begun. The space around the Drak fleet erupts in blinding light as human ships decloak from their hidden positions. These vessels are unlike anything the aliens have seen. Sleek predators that seem to bend reality around them. The Terra's Pride, Admiral Blake's flagship, materializes directly in front of Emperor Voss's massive command ship, dwarfing it despite being half the size. Captain Stone's destroyer, now revealed in its true form, moves with impossible grace through the Drak formation, its weapon systems charged with energy that makes the surrounding space shimmer. The ship that appeared damaged and fleeing moments ago now leads a pack of similar vessels, their hulls alive with defensive systems that deflect Drak fire like raindrops. Dr. Park coordinates from her command station, which has transformed into a tactical center that makes Drak technology look primitive. Her screens show the positions of every enemy ship, their weapon charges, even their internal communications. The humans have been preparing for this moment for generations, and their preparation shows in every detail. The Drak attempt their first real attack, launching thousands of missiles and energy blasts at the human fleet. The weapons that destroyed colonies and shattered their previous enemies strike the human ships and simply disappear, absorbed by energy fields that turn the attacks into power for human systems. The aliens watch in disbelief as their most devastating weapons only make the enemy stronger. Lieutenant Rivers, now revealed as a tactical genius rather than a simple communications officer, coordinates the human response. Her fingers dance across control panels that respond to thought as much as touch. The human fleet moves like a single organism, each ship perfectly positioned to support the others while maintaining optimal attack positions. Emperor Voss orders his fleet to retreat, but discovers that escape is impossible. Human ships have surrounded the Drak armada completely, creating a sphere of destruction from which nothing can escape. The aliens who came to conquer find themselves trapped like insects in amber, their massive numbers meaningless against superior technology and tactics. The first human counterattack begins with weapons that rewrite the laws of physics. Drac ships simply cease to exist, not destroyed, but erased from reality as if they never were. Others find their hulls turning to dust, their crews unharmed, but their vessels reduced to particles that drift harmlessly through space. The humans demonstrate that they can kill ships without killing crews, a mercy the Drac never showed their victims. Admiral Blake's voice echoes across all frequencies, calm and measured despite the destruction unfolding around him. He explains that humanity has been preparing for this day since they first reached the stars, knowing that eventually someone would mistake their peaceful nature for weakness. The Terran fleet represents the culmination of centuries of development, hidden from the galaxy until needed. The Drac attempt to call for reinforcements, but their communications are blocked by human technology that makes their signals disappear into quantum static. They realize with growing despair that they are alone, cut off from their empire, facing an enemy that has turned their invasion into a demonstration of futility. Captain Stone's squadron demonstrates human tactical doctrine by systematically dismantling Drac battle formations. They don't simply destroy enemy ships, they study them, catalog their weaknesses, and develop countermeasures in real time. Each engagement makes the human fleet more effective, while leaving the Drac more vulnerable. Dr. Park's analysis reveals the true scope of human preparation. The colonies that appeared defenseless were actually equipped with weapons that could destroy planets, hidden beneath facades of peaceful settlements. The mining stations carried antimatter charges that could eliminate entire fleets. Even the merchant ships were disguised warships, ready to transform at a moment's notice. The Drac fleet, which numbered over 3,000 vessels at the start of the battle, finds itself reduced to hundreds within the first hour. Their ships are destroyed not by overwhelming firepower, but by precise application of technology that makes their defenses irrelevant. The humans fight with the efficiency of machines, but the creativity of artists. Emperor Voss attempts to negotiate, offering to withdraw from human space and never return. Admiral Blake's response is simple. The time for negotiation ended when the Drac began destroying colonies. The Emperor realizes that humanity doesn't just defend, they eliminate threats permanently. The battle becomes a rout as human ships demonstrate capabilities that border on impossible. They move through space without engines, fire weapons that ignore shields, and repair damage faster than it can be inflicted. The Drac face an enemy that has transcended their understanding of warfare. As the third part concludes, the surviving Drac ships cluster around their Emperor's flagship, their once proud fleet reduced to a handful of vessels. The humans have barely exerted themselves, treating the battle like a training exercise. Emperor Voss realizes that he has attacked a species so advanced that they let him destroy their obsolete ships just to study his tactics. The true war is about to begin, and humanity holds all the advantages. Asterisk news of the battle spreads across the galaxy faster than the speed of light itself. The peaceful Centauri traders, who have known humans for decades, watch in stunned silence as their scanner feeds show the complete destruction of the Drac fleet. What they believe to be a minor species, capable only of farming and mining, has just eliminated the galaxy's most feared military force. The Vega colonies, isolated and proud, receive urgent communications from their deep space monitors. The energy signatures coming from human space are unlike anything in their databases. Ships that can erase matter from existence, weapons that ignore the fundamental laws of physics, and shields that turn enemy attacks into fuel. The humans have technology that makes every other species look primitive. On the research worlds of the Kepler system, scientists frantically analyze the data streams coming from the battle zone. Dr. Elena Vasquez, the lead xenorchaeologist, realizes that humanity's recent technological development must have taken thousands of years to achieve. The humans have been hiding their true nature from the galaxy for generations, playing the role of peaceful explorers while building the most advanced military force in known space. Emperor Voss, surrounded by the burning wreckage of his once mighty fleet, makes a desperate decision. He activates the Galactic Empire's most closely guarded secret, a quantum communicator that can reach across the galaxy instantly. His message is simple: humanity is not what they appear to be, and every species in the galaxy is in danger. Admiral Blake intercepts the transmission, but allows it to continue. He wants the galaxy to know what happens when someone threatens human civilians. The message that spreads across civilized space is clear. The Terran fleet is not just defending their territory. They are making an example that will prevent future attacks. The Helix Confederation, a loose alliance of 12 species that has maintained peace for centuries, calls an emergency session. Ambassador Kira Novak, humanity's representative, sits calmly as alien leaders demand explanations. How did a species known for peaceful trade and scientific cooperation develop weapons that can destroy entire fleets in minutes? Captain Stone's squadron begins the hunt for fleeing Drac vessels. The few ships that escaped the initial battle find themselves pursued by human hunters that can track them across dimensions. There is no hiding from the Terran fleet. Their technology can find a single ship in the vastness of space as easily as spotting a star in the night sky. Dr. Park coordinates with research teams across human space, analyzing every piece of Drac technology they can recover. The alien weapons and shields are centuries behind human capabilities, but the humans study them anyway, learning how to counter similar technologies they might face in the future. Every enemy becomes a source of knowledge that makes humanity stronger. The galaxy's military leaders realize that the balance of power has shifted permanently. The Zephyr Military Command, the Orion Defense League, and the Rim Sector Alliance all reach the same conclusion. Humanity is now the dominant military force in known space, and every other species must decide whether to be their ally or their enemy. Lieutenant Rivers receives communications from 17 different species, all asking the same question: what does humanity want? The answer surprises them. Humans want exactly what they've always wanted: peace, trade, and the freedom to explore. The difference is that now everyone knows the consequences of threatening those goals. Asterisk. The surviving Drac ships attempt to flee to their home system, but human vessels are already waiting for them. The Terran fleet has somehow anticipated their escape routes, placing ships at strategic points throughout Drac space. The aliens realize that humans have been monitoring their empire for decades, studying their technology, and mapping their territories. Emperor Voss makes one final attempt to save his species. He opens direct communications with Admiral Blake, offering complete surrender and reparations for the colonies they destroyed. The Emperor expects negotiation, but Blake's response is immediate and final. The Galactic Empire will be dismantled, its military dissolved, and its leaders tried for war crimes. The galaxy watches as human ships begin systematic strikes against Drac military installations. The attacks are precise, targeting only military assets while leaving civilian populations untouched. The humans demonstrate that they can destroy their enemies while maintaining their moral principles, a combination that terrifies potential aggressors. Ambassador Novak addresses the Helix Confederation, her words carrying the weight of humanity's new position. She explains that humans have spent centuries preparing for this moment, building defenses and weapons while hoping they would never be needed. The Drac invasion forced them to reveal their true capabilities, but their goals remain unchanged. The other species begin to understand that humanity's deception was not malicious but protective. They hid their strength to avoid the very conflict that the Drac brought to them. Now that their capabilities are revealed, The galaxy must adapt to a new reality where humans are the ultimate arbiters of peace. As Part 4 concludes, the last Drac stronghold falls to human forces. The empire that once conquered 17 species has been completely destroyed in less than a week. The galaxy has learned that humanity's smile is the most dangerous thing in the universe, because it means they've already won. 3 months after the destruction of the Drac Empire, the galaxy has transformed into something unrecognizable. Species that have been enemies for millennia suddenly find themselves working together, united by their shared understanding that humanity represents a power beyond their comprehension. The Terran fleet patrols trade routes that were once battlegrounds, their presence ensuring peace through overwhelming strength. Admiral Blake stands in the renovated Galactic Council chambers, watching as former enemies sign cooperation agreements. The Helix Confederation has expanded to include every major species, with humanity holding a permanent seat as the guarantor of galactic peace. The humans didn't ask for this position. It was offered to them by civilizations that recognized the new reality. Captain Stone commands a mixed fleet of human and alien vessels, training former enemies to work together. The Rigel Defense Force, once bitter rivals of the Centauri traders, now shares patrol duties and intelligence. The captain finds it amusing that fear of humanity has accomplished what centuries of diplomacy could not: true galactic cooperation. Dr. Park leads a research initiative that includes scientists from 47 different species. Her team studies not just technology, but the social dynamics that led to the Drac invasion. They're developing early warning systems to identify aggressive civilizations before they can threaten peaceful species. The goal is to prevent future conflicts through understanding rather than destruction. The former Drac territories have been divided among the species they once conquered. Humanity took no territory for themselves, instead supervising the restoration of damaged worlds and the return of enslaved populations. This gesture of restraint has convinced many species that humans can be trusted with their overwhelming power. Lieutenant Rivers coordinates the new Galactic Communications Network, a system that allows instant communication across the galaxy. The technology is based on human quantum entanglement research, but includes improvements suggested by alien scientists. The network ensures that no species can build military forces in secret, preventing future surprise attacks. Emperor Voss, now a prisoner awaiting trial for war crimes, sits in a comfortable cell reading human philosophy. He's trying to understand how a species capable of such destruction can maintain such strict moral principles. The guards treat him with courtesy, the food is excellent, and he has access to any books he requests. It's nothing like the prisons. In his former empire, the galaxy's military academies have been revolutionized by human tactical doctrine. Students from dozens of species study together, learning strategies that emphasize precision over destruction and intelligence over brute force. The humans share their knowledge freely, understanding that educated allies are more valuable than frightened subjects. Trade flourishes as never before, with human-protected shipping lanes carrying goods between species that have never trusted each other. The Terran fleet's ability to arrive anywhere in the galaxy within hours has eliminated piracy and trade disputes. Merchants who once carried weapons now focus entirely on commerce. Ambassador Novak addresses the Council, proposing the establishment of a galactic defense force that would respond to threats against any member species. The force would be commanded by humans, but staffed by volunteers from all civilizations. The proposal passes unanimously. Everyone understands that humanity's protection is the only thing standing between them and the chaos of the old galaxy. The Kepler research worlds have become pilgrimage sites for scientists throughout the galaxy. Dr. Vasquez leads tours through facilities where human researchers work alongside alien colleagues, sharing discoveries that advance all species. The humans have revealed that their technological advantages came not from superior intelligence, but from centuries of focused development and cooperation. Captain Stone's squadron encounters a new threat raiders from beyond the galactic rim, who have heard rumors of advanced technology in human space. The aliens arrive expecting to find easy prey, but instead face the full might of the Terran fleet. The battle lasts 17 minutes, ending with the complete capture of the Raider fleet and the revelation that humanity's influence extends far beyond the galaxy's borders. The trial of Emperor Voss begins at the new Galactic Justice Center, a facility built on a neutral world and staffed by judges from 12 different species. The proceedings are broadcast throughout the galaxy, serving as both justice for the Drax victims and a warning to any species considering aggression. The humans insist on a fair trial, demonstrating that even their enemies deserve justice. Dr. Park's research team makes a disturbing discovery. The Drac were not the only aggressive species in the galaxy. Deep space monitors detect signs of other empires beyond the rim, civilizations that may pose even greater threats. The humans begin preparations for future conflicts, but this time they won't be fighting alone. The galaxy has learned that humanity's greatest strength is not their technology or tactics, but their ability to turn enemies into allies. Species that fought each other for millennia now work together under human leadership, creating a unified front against external threats. The Terran fleet has become the immune system of galactic civilization. As Part 5 concludes, humanity faces a choice that will define the future of the galaxy. They can remain the silent guardians, protecting civilization from the shadows, or step forward as the acknowledged leaders of a new galactic order. The decision will determine whether the galaxy enters a golden age of peace or fractures under the weight of its own diversity. The attack comes without warning from the void between galaxies. Massive ships, larger than anything the Drac ever built, emerge from hyperspace at the edge of human territory. These vessels belong to the Void Hunters, a nomadic species that has consumed entire galaxies, leaving nothing but empty space in their wake. Their arrival sends shockwaves through the new Galactic Alliance. Admiral Blake receives the first reports at his command center on Terra's Pride. The enemy ships are unlike anything inhuman, databases organic constructs that seem to be grown, rather than built, with weapons that feed on the energy of destroyed worlds. The Void Hunters don't conquer territory. They devour it completely, leaving dead systems behind. Captain Stone leads the first reconnaissance mission, his enhanced destroyer approaching the alien fleet with extreme caution. What he discovers chills him to the bone. The Void Hunters are not just another aggressive species. They are the ultimate predators, evolved over millions of years to consume entire civilizations. Their ships are living entities that grow stronger with each world they destroy. Dr. Park's analysis reveals the true scope of the threat. The Void Hunters have crossed the intergalactic void, drawn by the energy signatures of the recent conflict with the Galactic Empire. They view the galaxy as a feeding ground, rich with life and technology to be consumed. Their bioships can adapt to any weapon, becoming immune to attack methods after the first encounter. The Galactic Council convenes an emergency session, with representatives from every species demanding answers. Ambassador Novak faces a room full of terrified aliens who suddenly realize that humanity's protection may not be enough. The Void Hunters have destroyed galaxies. What chance does a single species have against such power? Lieutenant Rivers coordinates the galaxy's first unified defense, bringing together fleets from dozens of species under human command. The Allied ships represent every major civilization, their crews working together despite centuries of mistrust. The human tactical doctrine of cooperation over competition has created the galaxy's first truly unified military force. The Void Hunters begin their systematic consumption of the galaxy's outer rim. Entire star systems simply vanish, their energy absorbed by the alien bioships. The survivors who escape describe nightmares beyond comprehension, planets stripped of all life, stars drained of their fire, and space itself left empty and cold. Voss, still awaiting trial, offers information about the Void Hunters in exchange for his freedom. His empire encountered them once before, barely escaping with a handful of ships. The Drac learned that conventional weapons are useless against the aliens, who can absorb and redirect any energy attack. Only complete destruction of their bioships can stop them. Admiral Blake makes a decision that surprises the galaxy. He releases Emperor Voss and offers him command of a joint task force. The former enemy's knowledge of the Void Hunters is too valuable to waste on prison cells. Voss accepts, understanding that the survival of all galactic life depends on cooperation between former enemies. The first major battle occurs at the Rigel system, where a combined human-alien fleet faces 3 Void Hunter bioships. The engagement reveals the true horror of the enemy. Their ships learn from each attack, adapting their defenses in real time. Weapons that work in the first minutes of battle become useless as the bioships evolve countermeasures. Captain Stone's squadron develops new tactics specifically for fighting adaptive enemies. Instead of relying on superior firepower, they use unpredictable attack patterns and constantly changing weapon frequencies. The battle becomes a test of creativity versus evolution, with human ingenuity pitted against alien adaptation. Dr. Park's research team makes a breakthrough. The Void Hunters' bioships have a weakness. They can adapt to any single form of attack, but simultaneous multispectrum assaults overload their adaptation systems. The key is coordinated strikes using different technologies from multiple species at once. The galaxy's species contribute their unique capabilities to the war effort. The Centauri provide quantum disruptors, the Vega colonies offer dimensional weapons, and the Kepler researchers contribute reality-altering technology. Each species adds another layer to humanity's coordinated defense strategy. Lieutenant Rivers establishes the first truly integrated command structure, with human officers working alongside alien commanders in perfect coordination. The cultural barriers that once divided species dissolve under the pressure of extinction. The galaxy has finally learned to think as one organism rather than competing individuals. The Void Hunters respond to the increased resistance by accelerating their consumption of the galaxy. More bioships arrive from the intergalactic void, each one larger and more powerful than the last. The aliens realize they face organized resistance and adapt their strategy accordingly. As Part 6 concludes, the galaxy faces its darkest hour. The Void Hunters have consumed a quarter of the outer rim, their bioships growing stronger with each victory. The combined fleets of all species have managed to slow the advance, but cannot stop it. Admiral Blake prepares for a final gambit, a desperate plan that will either save the galaxy or ensure its complete destruction. The ultimate test of humanity's leadership has arrived, and the fate of all galactic life hangs in the balance. Admiral Blake stands before the largest military force ever assembled in galactic history. Ships from every known species fill the space around the galaxy's core, their crews united under human command for the final battle against the Void Hunters. The bioships approach in massive formations, their organic hulls pulsing with the energy of consumed worlds. The plan is audacious beyond imagination. Dr. Park has discovered that the Void Hunters' bioships share a collective consciousness, making them powerful but also vulnerable. A coordinated strike against their command organism, massive bioship at the center of their fleet, could disrupt their entire invasion force. Captain Stone leads the assault squadrons, each one composed of ships from different species working in perfect harmony. The Centauri quantum disruptors weaken reality around the bioships, while Vega-dimensional weapons create rifts in spacetime. The Kepler reality-altering technology turns the laws of physics into weapons against the invaders. Voss commands the diversionary fleet, using his knowledge of Void Hunter tactics to draw their attention away from the main assault. The former conqueror has found redemption in defending the galaxy he once tried to rule. His ships strike at the bioship flanks, their attacks coordinated. With human precision, Lieutenant Rivers orchestrates the most complex military operation in galactic history. Her commands flow through quantum networks to thousands of ships, coordinating attacks across multiple dimensions and timelines. The human talent for organization has turned chaotic diversity into deadly unity. The battle begins with the bioships, adapting to each attack as expected. But the Galactic Alliance has learned from previous encounters. Instead of using the same weapons repeatedly, they constantly shift tactics, employing technologies the Void Hunters have never encountered. The bioships struggle to adapt to attacks that change faster than their evolution can follow. Dr. Parks. Scientific teams coordinate reality-altering experiments that turn the battlefield into a laboratory. They test theories about the nature of consciousness and adaptation, using the Void Hunter's own biology against them. The bioships find themselves fighting not just weapons, but the fundamental laws of science itself. The Void Hunter's command organism, a bioship the size of a small moon, begins to pulse with desperate energy. It realizes that its forces are being systematically destroyed by enemies who refuse to fight the same way twice. The collective consciousness that made them powerful has become a weakness against an enemy that thinks like individuals. Admiral Blake leads the final assault personally, his flagship Terra's Pride diving directly into the heart of the Void Hunter. Formation. The ship's weapons have been modified with technology from every species in the galaxy, creating a weapon system that represents the pinnacle of galactic cooperation. The bioships make their final adaptation. They begin to consume each other, combining their mass into a single enormous entity that fills space like a dark star. The Void Hunters are willing to sacrifice their entire fleet to create one unstoppable weapon. The galaxy watches in horror as the creature grows to planet-sized proportions. Captain Stone's squadron executes the final phase of the plan. They don't attack the giant bioship directly. Instead, they strike at the quantum foundations of its existence. Using combined technologies from 12 species, they create a weapon that doesn't destroy matter, but erases the concept of the bioship. From reality itself, the Void Hunter collective consciousness experiences something it has never known: fear. For the first time in millions of years, it faces an enemy that fights with intelligence rather than instinct, creativity rather than adaptation. The bioships begin to retreat, their collective mind overwhelmed by the impossibility of defeating such coordinated diversity. Emperor Voss leads the pursuit, his fleet chasing the fleeing bioships back toward the intergalactic void. The former conqueror has learned that true victory comes not from domination, but from protection. His ships ensure that the Void Hunters can never return to threaten the galaxy again. Dr. Park's final analysis reveals the true significance of the victory. The galaxy has evolved beyond its individual species limitations, becoming something greater than the sum of its parts. The Void Hunters, for all their power, could only adapt. They could never create the kind of cooperation that made the Galactic Alliance unstoppable. Lieutenant Rivers receives surrender communications from Void Hunter bioships throughout the galaxy. The creatures that once devoured entire civilizations now beg for mercy, their collective consciousness broken by the realization that they have encountered something beyond their understanding, a galaxy that thinks as one while maintaining its diversity. Admiral Blake addresses the combined fleets, his words carried to every ship in the galaxy. He speaks of humanity's greatest discovery, that strength comes not from hiding power, but from sharing it. The humans smile as they realize they have not just saved the galaxy, but transformed it into something beautiful. The war is over. The galaxy is safe. And humanity has proven that the greatest weapon in the universe is not technology or tactics, but the ability to unite different species in common cause. The Void Hunters retreat into the cosmic dark, carrying with them the knowledge that some galaxies are too evolved to be consumed. The age of galactic civilization has begun, and humanity stands at its heart, not as conquerors, but as the teachers, who showed everyone else how to smile in the face of the impossible. Asterisk.